Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our weekly Oneg Shabbat on the Gurwin channel. Hope everyone had a wonderful week as we continue our Oneg Shabbat series every Friday. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Ashoreis, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Mahalchei Amlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Ashoreis, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malchei Amlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Ashoreis, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malchei Amlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leShalom, Malachei Asholom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malchei Amlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leShalom, Malachei Asholom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malchei Amlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leShalom, Malachei Asholom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malchei Amlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu ni leShalom, Malachei Asholom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malchei Amlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu ni leShalom, Malachei Asholom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malchei Amlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu ni leShalom, Malachei Asholom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malchei Amlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seizchem leShalom, Malachei Asholom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malchei Amlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seizchem leShalom, Malachei Asholom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malchei Amlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seizchem leShalom, Malachei Asholom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malchei Amlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. As we get closer to the holiday of Hanukkah, I want to continue to teach some of the laws of Hanukkah, some of the lessons we learned from Hanukkah as well. So we know one of the great miracles of Hanukkah was the lighting of the menorah. After a long and hard-fought war, the Jewish people defeated the Greeks and sent them out of Jerusalem. And they wanted to re-inaugurate the temple, which was not used in so many years due to the Greek influence. But in order to do the proper inauguration, they needed pure olive oil, which was not touched by anyone, oil that was still in its sealed container. And they looked, and they finally found one small jug of oil, which would last only one day's worth of lighting. And it would take another 7 days, additional days, to get new oil that was purely made for this purpose. And the Jewish people had a dilemma. Should we do the mitzvah? Should we do the inauguration with a little bit of oil, Or should we wait another week until we have the proper amount of oil, the right amount of oil to do it constantly? And they decided, you know what, sometimes it's better to do a little bit now than to do something better, greater later on. And the miracle happened that this little bit of oil lasted for 8 days until they were able to procure more oil to last them for many, many days and weeks, months, and even years afterwards. And the lesson we learn from here is that sometimes we like to push things off. I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it the next day. And sometimes we even say, it'll be better if I wait till tomorrow. It'll be better if I wait till next day to do it. But that's not the right approach. The right approach is you have an opportunity to do something now, do it right now. And in all of our lives, you have to look at opportunities now to do something good, do something nice, say something appropriate, nice to somebody. And even if we think it'll be better if we do it tomorrow, we'll be more awake, we'll be more alert. But still, don't pass up an opportunity, even if it's only a small opportunity. Because who knows, maybe your small opportunity now could have everlasting repercussions as well. L'chadodi l'kras kala pnei Shabbos nekavila. Chadodi l'kras kala pnei Shabbos nekavila. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad. Hishmiyahanu kelam yuchad Hashem echad. Shmo echad l'shemu ziferes v'lesilah. Chadodi l'kras kala pnei Shabbos nekavila. L'kras Shabbos l'chovin elcha ki mikor haviracha meirosh mikedem nesucha sov maaseh b'machshavat chila. L'chadodi l'kras kala pnei Shabbos nekavila. Mikdash melech ir melucha kumitzi mitocha v'chor avloch shevet v'yimgabacha hu yachamol alayechem la. L'chadodi l'kras kala pnei Shabbos nekavila. Hisnari me'avar kumi Lev shebedei zevardecha mi al yad ben yishai bezalach mi karva el nafshi geyala. L'chadodi l'kras kala pnei Shabbos nekavila. Yamin usmol tifroti v'yez Hashem daritzi al yad ben yishai bezalach mi karva el nafshi geyala. L'chadodi l'kras kala pnei Shabbos nekavila. Boi b'shalom ateres bala gam berina u'v'tzahala tochem u'neyam segula. Boi kala chadodi l'kras kala pnei Shabbos nekavila. In this week's Torah reading, Parshas Vayetze, we learn the story of Jacob, who last week ran away from his brother Esav, who was hunting him, and he fled to a new town to get married. And he met two young, wonderful women, Rachel, Rachel, and Leah. And their father, Lavan, who was also the uncle of Jacob, wanted to take advantage of Jacob at any moment possible. He had him work many years until it was time to get married. And although Jacob agreed to marry Rachel first, Rachel first, Lavan changed his mind and forced him to marry Leah first. And it's a very, very interesting story about years. 20 years Jacob spent with Lavan, dealing with his trickery, dealing with his mischief. And every time he worked for him, is about to get paid, his wages were switched over and over and over again. This went on for 20 years. And at the end of the 20 years, Jacob gets a vision from God, says, now it's time to go, now it's time to leave. And we see from this, in all the treachery that Jacob endured through his uncle, he never lost faith in God. He always said this is for the best. He always trusted God, that whatever was happening was not done through Lavan. Lavan was just a messenger of God. And he learned the lesson that never to lose faith, never to give up, no matter how difficult the situation is. And this is a very important lesson in our lives, that sometimes things don't go the way we want them to go. And sometimes we like to point fingers at other people, saying that they've done wrong to us, they've done things evil to us, they've tricked us, they've taken advantage of us. And even if that's true in life, we always have to remember that nothing happens without God's intervention. And if God wanted this person to take advantage of you, to trick you, we have to accept it with our whole heart. Because if we do that, we'll come closer to God, we'll be able to accept what happens in our life, and then there'll be a time where God says, you've learned these lessons, now it's only time for me to continue to shower you with blessings that you so deserve, and to be at a time when you'll be peace and have happiness. Adon olam asher malach v'terem kol yitzir nivra li'ez nasa b'chevso kol azai melech shemo nikra v'yacharei keklos hakol levahado yimloch nora v'haya v'hoveh v'yiyeh b'sifara v'hoechad v'yein sheni l'hamshila l'hachvira b'li reishis b'li sachlis v'lo ha'oz v'hamisra v'hokeli v'chai goali v'zor chavli v'yez nasa v'unisi umanosli Minas kosi biyom ekra biyahado av kidruchi v'yez ishan v'yahira v'yem ruchi geviyasi ado shem li v'lo ira. And have a happy and healthy Shabbat, a great weekend. We'll see everybody next week.